Greetings out there, and welcome to my show, Tell It Like It Is. I'm your host, Morris, man, and my co-host is
Joseph Spencer.
And today we're going to do a very disturbing topic because we were actually slated to do another topic or air another topic, but we thought this was just needed a sense of urgency, so we're going to do this today. Yesterday, Chicago Sun-Times, the headlines read this: City Council Black Caucus has a message for the top cop. Get out. And yesterday, Chicago Defender says top cop out. Now, here's the problem with this. And we actually talked about this on our show before. And if you guys don't believe me, check back on some of our shows dating back 6 months, if not further. And we've already talked about this before it's happened because we knew it was going to happen. Because here's the problem. The problem is not, because every time we have problems in our community, and I mean the black community, we go on a rampage, bitching to the mayor, bitching to the police chief that you ain't doing your job and you ain't curbing crime. When the issues that we have in our communities are not police issues, they're rearing issues, meaning that you didn't do your job with your kids because your kids out there having kids at 17, not married, and then their kids grow up to be menace. That's the problem. You know, it's an insult, and it's really ridiculous that they get these city officials, black city officials, trying to pass blame on people or organizations who's not the problem. Because, I mean, Joe, let me ask you this question. When was the last time you turned on your TV on the weekend and you seen 5 people shot in the neighborhood by other people in the neighborhood, and they were all white? When was the last time?
On the movies?
Exactly. But every weekend in Chicago, it's us tearing up and shooting up each other. You know, so we need to, as black people, get our act together. And what I mean by that is we need to fix our own problems because we've been conditioned to believe that we got to go run into everybody else to get our problems solved because this is not a police issue. The issue is there are too many people out there that should be having kids and not married. You know, the family structure, the black family structure has gone to hell. And as a result of that, you got crime, you know. It's just interesting that they're calling for his resignation. They should be calling for their resignation as well because your kids are going to listen to you more quickly than the police because you know how we have a relationship with the police. You know, it ain't a great one, and it's probably never going to be a good one. You know, so we need to stop complaining to other people and get off our asses and check our kids because there's still enough of us 50 and 60-year-olds around here to talk to these people or kids and get them in line. Because somewhere along the line, the family structure, black family structure has collapsed. And as a result of that, you're getting this. You know, you're getting all this crime in our neighborhoods. You know, because again, I can't recall any time that I've turned on the TV and 5 or 6 white kids and not wishing no bad on them getting killed in their neighborhoods by other 5 or 6 white kids. You know, it's always us. And whenever something happens in our neighborhood, we go on that, again, textbook nonsense where we start marching in the street, you know, stop the killing. Yeah, we need to stop the killing. You need to go home and check your kids. Because half of the people that are out there with the picket signs got family members that are part of the problem. You know, so I find it ironic that the people are complaining are partially the people that are at fault, you know, because your kids didn't ask to come here, you know, and then it's your responsibility to check them, not the police. Because I'm going to say this and then I'm going to turn it over to you. I already know what's going to happen, and quote me on this, because we've seen it before. Policeman McCartney's going to quit. He's going to resign, and then they're going to get another tougher guy to claim he's going to clean up the streets, and all that's going to happen is they're going to bring in another guy who's going to harass all the black people in their neighborhoods, young black men. Because unfortunately, criminals don't come with name tags. So they go in, they go in and harass every young black man that they can find in the neighborhood until they find the right ones. That's not the direction we want to take it. You know, the direction is grown folks, old folks, go home and check your kids. Educate them as far as this is not a good idea to lay up with these guys and have babies. And then they're going to leave, and now I'm going to be taking care of them, or I'm going to have to take care of them, because I'm going to say this and then turn it over to you. Just last week, remember a poor incident where the mother, her daughter, and then the 11-month-old baby was shot. 3 generations shot at the same time. We talk about this. Why was mama there? Why wasn't the husband a long-term partner with his family? Because grandmother has replaced the man in the house. You know, she wants to be the man now, and that's why, you know, you see this. And, you know, they showed the young woman, and it's unfortunate that she did pass away and her mother, but the 11-month-old baby survived. Found out that she was carrying another baby already. And that baby's not even a year old, and she's already having another baby. No husband, no long-term partner. We got to stop this nonsense. This is our fault, and we need to clean up this issue or this problem. Turn it over to you, Joe.
I'm 67 years old. And the first time I heard a black man ain't shit, I must have heard it from my mother and some older women in my neighborhood. When you bring up a generation after generation saying a black man ain't shit, I have to be the strong black woman.
But let me just interject, and you can finish, because I just want to add to this. The women that make that complaint are the ones that are producing these men that they claim ain't shit. Back to you.
And when you got 4 or 5 generations of that, and you don't have any men in the household to put his sons and his daughter on the right track, because he's from a particular background too, and his kids are out there on his own. When I was a little boy, everybody was from Mississippi and Arkansas and Alabama. Everybody had guns in the house. We did not take them guns out of the house. We made our little zip guns, went out in the field and shot them, you know, but we wasn't shooting at people.
They were for display hunting, not killing each other.
Right. Not killing each other. If you're going to fight, you're going to do this. Yeah. You know, the gangsters in my neighborhood said yes ma'am and no ma'am. They cool everything down. They were gousters. We called them gousters. Gouster gangster. They cool. Now here come Miss Jones, shut up. That was it. Here come Mr. Max, shut up. You know. Now these kids have no respect for themselves or older people.
Because they haven't been taught to be respectful. You know. Because again, I don't blame them. I blame the people that brought them there. Because let me just say this. I was watching this documentary on Rosa Parks, and we all know who Rosa Parks was. She was a courageous black woman in the 60s, said, I'm not having it, I'm not giving up my seat. Take me to jail if you need to. And she became famous as a result of her taking a stance. And as a result of that, her, with the help of Martin Luther King, if I'm correct, if I'm not mistaken, they organized the bus boycott. I had no idea. And let me ask you this question, I don't know if you know it. How long do you think that they did that for? How long did, you know, because what they did was they stopped riding the bus. You know, they stopped putting money in the pockets.
They did it for months and months.
They did it for an entire year. I didn't know that.
I said months and months.
Yeah, but, you know, I thought it was like a month or two. For an entire year. These people.
When she did that, I think it was in 1955. Yeah, I was still a kid.
These black people organized a boycott for an entire year. And you ask yourself, well, how did they manage to get around? A lot of church organizations took these people on school buses and took them to work, and people volunteered to take other people to work. We need to get back to that, because I thank God that I grew up in the era of the 60s where I was a child and I was there to experience this movement, because we don't do that anymore. You know, we don't even speak to our neighbors anymore, let alone help each other. And we got to get back to that, because that was a very pivotal point in society in the 60s when things started to come together, the civil rights movement, music, and things of that nature. And, you know, we got to get back to that. We have to take responsibility ourselves and say, hey, okay, we're not going to get any help from this. We do it ourselves. We can bond together and work together and get this done. Because that's amazing. 12 months when none of us rode the bus. You know, we can't even do nothing now for a week. You know?
Man, what can I say? I've seen quite a few decades. Not a lot of them, because I have people older than me, 20, 30, 40 years older than me. The problem is deep. We're always trying to find somebody else to save us instead of trying to save ourselves.
Because we've been conditioned that we got to run to somebody else to save or fix our problems, and when we don't have to. Because our problem is this: we need to check our kids. Period. That's it. Because once you check your kids, the crime automatically goes down. You know.
And the bigger the society is, the more idiots you're gonna put in society, which they need to be led to a different type of lifestyle. You know, they bombard the United States black kids and white kids, all American kids, with New Jack City, all these gangster movies. There's going to be a certain amount of kids going to pick up on that crap. You live in a poor neighborhood and you see Sambo, Subo Wubo, and he's driving a custom-made Rolls Royce and got all the women in. Who they going to look up at too? Who they going to look up at?
But let's close this now. Okay. The only thing I want to do now is say is this. This is not the problem. The police, head dude, or the mayor is not the problem. we're the problem, and we need to fix the problem.
These people don't live in our
We caused
neighborhoods.
the problem. So until then, you're right. Until then, keep thinking. I'm Morris Manning, my co-host.
Joseph Spencer.